these nuts. Let me see how this works. This is me testing the audio with ASMR. I feel like that's the trend every time I start one of these. Immediately goes right off the bat to ASMR. Start one of these. Oh shit. Goes right off the bat to ASMR. Let's see how this works. Oh shit. Goes right off the bat to ASMR. I want to make an endless loop. I want to make an endless loop where I just hear myself. I want to make an endless loop where I just hear myself. Oh fuck me. All right, yeah, that got too much. So hey guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm in the Logang now. Yeah, I decided to go completely against all my morals, and I decided to untake my puberty. You know, I used to have hair on my balls, but now unfortunately, because I've joined the Logang, all the hair has mysteriously disappeared. So if you guys ever want to find out a way to shave your balls in a way that's fast and efficient, you need to trim your balls. You trim your balls, and then actually no, becoming a member of the Logang trims your balls automatically. So yeah, if you guys ever wanted a life hack, that's how you do it. Oh boy, I feel like I want to kill myself from that title already. I apologize, by the way, if you are a member of this gang, which by the way, not a real gang. I don't know if you guys know about gangs, but you typically need to get initiated in the gang. It's a whole ordeal. You know, I've watched enough, what's that show that used to be on USA about gangs and shit? I'm sure one of you guys knows it. Let me fix also the grain on this video is phenomenal because my lighting, you see this? You see this shit? My lighting, Gangland, there you go. Yeah, Sim, of course you're gonna know that shit. You fucking dope ass. Yeah. It's Gangland. That was an amazing show. You know, that culture is beyond me. I seriously don't understand that. I do psychologically kind of understand that, because typically these people that join gangs, they're lacking either a father figure, or they're lacking some sort of authority figure in their life, and they need sort of that group mentality because of that. So yeah, so that's kind of terrifying. The initiation for you to join the Logang. No, I'm the real Batman. You don't need to shave your pubic hairs. Your pubic hairs disappear because you go back in time and you regress to back before you had puberty. That's the way it works. Are there rivals? There are other 13-year-olds, Nick. There are other 13-year-olds. So, you know, the rivals, they're not going to necessarily fight you or stab you or cut you like a real gang. What they're going to do is that they're going to call you a pussy over the internet. That's what they're going to do. They're not really going to do any sort of initiation. They might just say, hey, you're a pussy, and that's it. So, yeah, your testicles are gone. They're just going to recede inside of your fucking deck. Oh, I just read deck, and I meant dick. Left smile. Can I give you a deck? Well, yeah, I'm always open to getting decks and reviewing them. That's always something exciting. I have a couple decks that they need to be reviewed. I haven't had the what do you call this, the drive to review them. So you guys don't realize you take those reviews for granted. You're just like, oh man, Piggy's just doing 30 minutes opening up a deck. You know, it's not just 30 minutes opening up a deck. It drains you doing that fucking stupidity. When I do those stupid reviews. So you guys need to appreciate those. Left smile, yeah. I mean, the P.O. box is open, obviously. Just make sure that if you send me something, please don't call me either a nigger in the thing. I've had an argument already at the post office. Don't call me, don't write pig cunt on the title. Don't write, pig pussy or something. They'll just fucking kill me. They'll fucking murder me over there. Lindsay, Harvey, let's see here. You're saying, Pequito's not a word. It's pequeño. It's not Pequito. It's pequeño. That's. I've already said too much. The N word. But yeah, your pinga would in fact turn that way. Oh shit. Let's see this. Notice me, senpai. Yeah, that does get me. Notice me, senpai. As long as you don't necessarily as long as you don't necessarily just write anything offensive on the box, because it really gets the people at the post office grooving. Say Nazbo. I don't know what Nazbo is. I don't know what that is. But based on your previous comments, I'm assuming that I just insulted an entire ethnicity. I feel like I just insulted a large group of people. That's phenomenal. Recommendations for a stacked deck. Oh wow, a legitimate question. A legitimate question. Cactus Smoke, unfortunately, by the way, hold up, before I answer your question on stacked decks. No, you can't. Either Cactus, you put Pick Cake, or just leave it blank if you're gonna send me something. Because unfortunately, and you know, obviously I've had multiple issues in the post office. I know there was one recently, but I've had multiple issues in the post office with them not realizing. Oh, did you already send me some? That's funny. I'll argue with them, but hopefully they won't fucking argue with that. What's your real name? I mean, obviously there's a reason why I haven't said that. Could you buy? Oh, you could buy mnemonica. Is it really that much? Is it really mnemonica that much on Amazon? Is that like real? I can't believe it's that fucking much. That's ridiculous. Aldo Montoya. Really? Is this really? Are you dropping old references to wrestlers as if I don't know? Just incredible. Okay, so yeah, so I guess stack decks. You know, I really don't understand. Well, I do understand, because obviously you could do more with a memorized deck. But the one that I've used, and the one that I keep saying every time somebody asks me that, it's an old stack from... I think it's called Kindergarten Stack or something. I learned it years and years and years ago. Chase is not bad. The classic Sbaiz Stebbins. I mean, fuck, you could do mostly everything with that. I know the Richard Osterlin stack, you go through a little bit more hoops than the classic Sbaiz Stebbins shit. But I gotta say, there's one called Card Kindergarten by Michael Weber. I think that's the one that I always recommend, and that was my favorite one because there's no memorization. Obviously, they can't see the deck, but the deck is set in an order that you don't need memorization, and you're able to memorize the deck. Hekili, could you explain to me what I've seen people talk about studs on Instagram? I've seen them talk about it, and like, you know, online. What is the? I don't understand what the appeal of these cards are. Is it that they're like cheap and that they're available everywhere? Is that what it is? Or that there are certain ones that are not available? Is that what it is? I mean, if somebody could tell me that, because I've been wondering why the fuck studs are so like, yeah, they're just available at Walgreens. You're welcome. Where's your dad? Nagazawar. I can't. Is that something backwards? Raw, Sage. Yeah, that's definitely nothing. But yeah, I mean, just look that up. Michael Weber, Card Kindergarten. That's my favorite one. You don't need any memory to do that. It's a really good stack. How about Mavericks? Is that I don't know if that's a reference to the initiation in the Logang, or if oh, my Indian name is nothing. Damn, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't know that it was an actual name. It's just nothing that I'm used to here. Do you like the show Lawai? I do, unfortunately. You know, it used to be kind of a bad thing to be subscribed to PewDiePie, but you know what? I'm a fan. PewDiePie's turned me around. I really enjoy his stuff. Even though it's mostly just looking at things that people have sent him, I fucking like that shit. So I enjoy it. Nick, the initiation for the Logang, I think that it probably involves a lot of what do middle schoolers do? I'm trying to think of middle schoolers. Fuck. Oh boy. It involves a lot of lubrication, a lot of Fapkins, and a massive amount of phase. I think middle schoolers are into the FaZe clan or whatever the fuck that entails. Going into Walgreens, no, going into GameStop screaming, oh boy. Is that what it is? Okay. So these are really fucking hard, to be honest. These are, I mean, these I hate, by the way, this is for an upcoming trick, by the way. This is for a video. You guys are seeing some insider shit. My tuna casserole after a wonderful date. She also liked my tiramisu and asked about the recipe. So that's for a future video that you guys haven't seen yet. These are very stiff. These cards are very stiff, and they got pretty bad really quickly. So I'm not necessarily a fan of them. Although I do like the price and the availability, the fact that you could just go to Walgreens and pick them up. But I find them to be very, very stiff. Too stiff almost. Almost like your uncle's dick when you let me see if I could even do it with these cards. Yeah, they're very fucking... They have dates? I didn't even fucking know that. Oh, shit. Let me see this. This one is from 2017. Yep. 2017. Just in case you didn't see it and you were ignoring it, can you perform a torn and restore on my anus? Unfortunately, yeah, I actually can do a torn and restored. Dude, what the fuck? Brian, if you're on this, Brian, that you just sent me an email from your Bri phone, which is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I keep putting your fucking name on the thing. I don't understand why it doesn't show up. I know this is the second time you tell me, but I keep putting your name on your shit, which is just fucking weird. So I don't understand why that keeps happening, but I'll fix that. It's just fucking stupid. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I mean, I'll fix it. It's just, I keep doing it, and then the thing is that sometimes, for example, I'll put out an older video, which has an older description. So if I don't remember to change the description, then I forget. But I've done that for the past couple of videos, so it's kind of stupid. The original studs are different. Ramsey did a video where he found the original studs. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I think that's what it fucking is. You're right. You're 100% right. And you know what? Yeah. I think if I look at my deck collection, I might have an older set of them. And I'll tell you why. Because I remember when I bought these, because of all the people talking about studs, I remember that I recognized the back design, and I wanted to know what was the big deal. So I guess it's because they're cheap and they're good. But I'm pretty sure if I look through my old decks, I'll find an older deck of studs. But that's kind of lit. Yeah, I do remember watching that Ramsey video, but I just never understood the deal with studs. But I find them a little bit too stiff. I find them way too stiff. The ones that I really enjoy the feeling of that I've recently played with are the marked deck from Penguin Magic. They have like an elite stock, I think, but they are fucking the stock on those cards are phenomenal, and the fact that they're marked is just better. They just got really fucking stiff. I don't like that. Ramsey talking about cards, not a good combo these days. Sorry. Boom. Roasted by Meat Blanket. Greatest username. I have a blue deck of those studs for months. They're just as good as my keepers. Yeah, I imagine the older ones probably feel a little bit better. But you know what these feel like almost? They feel a little bit like the older tally hos. I remember the older tally hos weren't as soft. It might just be my preference. But I like a little bit of give on the cards. I like that to be a little bit softer, like my penis. So that's why I would gravitate away from these. Let me see if I can do this basic shit. Hey, boy. So, yeah. Girls and pig cakes video is a sin. Yeah, it is a little bit of a sin. It kind of goes away from my character of being a raging homosexual. But unfortunately, sometimes you need to have a female in your video to show a card trick to. And those are typically for the ones that typically the ones that are like, hey, here's a demo video for something that I'm shilling. And you are dead. Okay. Sima, I'd like to thank you for your Hindu tips on Patreon. Thank you for being a patron. But yeah, but the Hindu shuffle I think is one of the more underutilized shuffles, and there's a lot that you could do with a Hindu shuffle. However, when it comes to doing it, I think that you need to establish it as a normal way that you shuffle cards. And funny enough, I have seen people shuffle cards in this sort of way, and that's something that I mentioned in the video. I've seen people shuffle cards this way, and it's very very common. So I don't understand why. You have this sort of gravitation towards this being an unnatural move. Yeah, it's unnatural, I think, if you don't establish it as being a natural move. So if you shuffle these cards in this sort of way and you establish that as being the way that you naturally shuffle cards, there's no reason as to why you can't do something sneaky, especially if you want to do one of these. Let me see if I could even bust it out. That overhand, this is a Leonard Green cycle false shuffle, which is a full deck false shuffle. I'm pretty sure I fucked up the first part, but yeah, this is a full deck false shuffle. That is a very nice, very easy, very good looking false shuffle, and you're pretty much avoiding it because of the Hindu shuffle and the connotation that it has. But I really enjoy that, and also there's just so much you could do with it. And I remember reading it in the Mark Wilson Guide to Magic, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks like AIDS, but while demonstrating different shuffles while controlling the card. That's the typical scene. That's the typical way I've seen it. You might have that routine where magician goes, oh, this is the Passover shuffle. This is the Russian shuffle. One card rushing after the other. Then this shuffle, I forgot what this is. But I think that the actual Hindu shuffle is a very worthwhile move to learn, and the actual applications for it are also really good to learn. What's a hot move in your opinion? I don't know what you mean. I mean, that's such a general question. Right there. So I have the habit of reading my text out loud, which is going to get me in trouble. But let me see if I missed a comment here. In my county, everyone shuffles like that. That's funny. I imagine you mean country. But yeah, it's a very, very popular shuffle in Asia, from my understanding. Here we have this sort of thing, right? We have the overhand shuffle, which seems to be very popular, especially the ones that were brought up, I think, mostly because of books like Expert at the Card Table, where you have, overhand shuffle stacks and all that shit. That became immensely popular here. But this, I mean, fuck, if you ever watch any sort of anime that involves shuffling fucking cards, is this sort of style right here, which is fairly interesting, considering this is just literally an overhand shuffle done crosswise. So it's kind of interesting to see how people shuffle around the world. But I think that it's a very good shuffle to learn, and it's a good shuffle to learn different techniques with. So Sima, yeah, you're killing it. I have 4 decks from Walgreens. Yeah, Walgreens is really killing it with the decks that they have. Some of them are cancer, to be honest. Some of them are pretty AIDS. There's one that's a fire deck that's pretty awful. The Aurora ones look really good. The Steampunk ones are also pretty good. And these are, I mean, they're all right if you don't want to pay a lot. Fake news, what's the best force to use? It really depends on the situation. And Stefan, I'll get to your question now, but I think that's a really good thing to address. But the best force, it really depends on the situation and the trick. Sometimes I think again, not to show Patreon, but one of the things I think I mentioned on Patreon is the idea of why you force and why you want to do certain forces in certain situations. I've never understood the necessity to do a force like this, like a riffle force, for someone that could touch the deck, right? This is an action that makes sense to someone that's further away from you, right? So if you want to force a card to someone, but you don't want them to get up and you want them to stay where they are, this makes all the sense in the world, right? Because you want them to pick a card from that far away, but you don't want them to stand up. So it doesn't make any sense to me if someone's that close and you go, hey, call stop. That doesn't make any sense to me. So the best force to use really depends on the actual situation. And Stefan, do magicians sometimes overthink what a spectator experiences? Okay, I think that magicians overthink sometimes how a spectator will react to certain things, which is what scares magicians away from doing more bold sort of things. So, typically you might want to, a lot of these explanations, and I think it comes with the popularity of video and how you want to emulate the magician. So for example, if you see a magician and this is just from my experience. If I bought a DVD, right, like let's say I bought the Bill Malone on the Loose series, right, which I did long time ago, and Bill Malone's presenting a trick, I would probably be more inclined to copy his exact way of doing that particular trick than I would be if I read the trick in a book, right? So where that ties to what you're saying is that because of that, I might overthink what I'm doing in that particular situation. So I might overthink the fact that, is the spectator going to react in the same way? Is the spectator going to act in the same way as they did in that? And then I think once you kind of break that bubble, you'll realize that, not every trick is going to be as you saw in a video. You're going to have to be adaptive to different scenarios. And you're also going to be surprised with what you could get away with in front of spectators, because sometimes sometimes you think that they pay attention to things that they don't care about, which is fairly interesting. So you could kind of exploit that. Let me see. Saw your comment on the Modern Rogue. Yeah, I love fucking Modern Rogue. I love that shit. They're the fucking best. They have black Tiger decks in Walgreens. Yes, they do. Again, I'm not a fan of those black border decks. Just because they get dirtier easier. So I prefer, even B cards I don't like, because the edge just gets frailed more easily. For some reason you would think that white bordered cards would get dirtier faster, but they don't. So I'm not really a huge fan of the black border ones, but they are nice to have that vintage, that fucking vintage, what do you call this, illusionist deck. Fuck, that was... Jeez, I remember the demos for that shit. They try to make this seem like it was the second coming of Christ, or the first coming of Logan Paul. Let me see what I missed here. Did you see Jazz Shuffle? Oh, really? Was that my thing? I didn't notice that, but I did send something to Scam School a little while ago. I don't know if that's it. I mean, that'd be kind of dope, but let me see the video now that you mention it. Let me see. Oh boy. Oh, it was a short card. Damn, yeah, that was my video. I guess that was what I sent in.
This week on Scam School, a brand new magical concept that we've never...
Let's see over here.
It's like magical jazz. You're just sort of coming up, first off, not gonna lie, this
inaugural
performance of me getting to use the brand new Outlaws Crimson, which I'm... Is that it?
Yeah, I think that might have been the trick that I sent in. Let me see.
Well, here we are again. I would not fight crime. I would not invest in the stock market. I would come to the Rusty Mule, and I would do card tricks. And
Let me see.
I would cut one card at a time. And it would be...
Hold up, I'll tell you right now.
So one of my favorite things about Scam School is that I wonder, as longtime viewer of Scam School, Matt, I suspect there might be parts of this you recognize, so I'm going to perform mainly...
Damn it, just get to the point, Brushwood.
First off, not going to lie, this is the inaugural performance of me getting to use the brand new Outlaws Crimson, which I'm very excited about. Which one of you guys is better with handling a deck of cards? We're going to have you select a card, and I want it to be as free a choice as I could possibly...
I don't think so. I didn't send him one that required that.
All right, take a look at it. Make sure you remember it. Show it to the world, except for not me. Do me a favor. Just say stop whenever you want. Stop. There we go. Give me. And I'm going to shuffle these up real good.
Well, yeah, I think that might have been a variation, maybe,
stop,
but...
set it down. Dealer's choice. Again, we're doing magical jazz here, right? You got the slice. All right.
I'll have to watch that later.
Huge thanks to somebody named L Pig, who sent me an email challenging me to come up with an effect using the short card. I love where this...
Yeah, I guess that was me. That's really funny. That is really funny. Hey, I didn't. I sent them a trick, and it was involving a short card because I just did that project on short cards. So that's kind of lit that he used it on the show. But the original trick that I sent him, let me see if I could find it here. It was something different than that. It was more of a cut sort of thing. So let me see if that's it. Let me see the trick. Because now I actually forgot what it was that I sent him. But I know it was using a short card, obviously, because I wanted to tie into the actual thing itself. But let me see if this was what it was. Give me one hot second. Let me see this shit. Damn, look at me using that piggy mat. Oh, okay. Yeah, so what I sent him was this thing. Was this idea. I think that I might be wrong. I need to check the video when I'm not on a fucking live stream. But that you have a short card on top of the deck, right? And you tell a spectator to take cards from the bottom and put it on top, just like this. And whenever they want to, they could call stop, right? Or they do this to themselves. So they stop on this card. Again, they're doing this. I'm turned around. And then you tell them to readjust the deck. And in that, what they did is that they're putting their card on top of your short card, right? So that's what I sent them. That's what I sent them. And then obviously from there, you could go off and you could cut the card right to the top using the short card. But that's what I sent. I think I might be mistaken. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of dope that he used that on, or used, I guess, a short card thing on Scam School. That's fucking lit. I guess it was also, I guess I'm L Pig because that's how I signed off on the email. So that's kind of dope. How do you fix a bent or warped card in a deck? It depends. It really depends. But I think once you have a card that's warped in the deck, you're kind of fucked. I mean, at that point, because it's really hard to take the warping or the actual bend out of cards, especially if they're a low quality deck. So, you know, you're kind of stuck with it, and that's kind of the crimp, right? So let me see, Baron Boots. I was in the mall with some friends and son I was doing and completely ruined the vibe. You know, you're gonna have assholes all the time, man. You're gonna have dicks get on you all the time. So unfortunately, it's how you deal with them that you kind of grow and learn. Hold up, let me send this here real quick. Hey. So you're gonna have assholes all the time. I think it's the way you deal with them. You deal with them as humans. I mean, they're humans at the end of the day, right? So if you know how to interact with humans and you know how to kind of have those social cues, then you just deal with them in a certain way. I don't think that there's any sort of cookie cutter explanation to cater to all sort of things. I know that some magicians recommend doing certain tricks that might, you know, disarm them or might affect them in some way, but I'm not a fan of that. I think that it boils down to something that you might have said or you might have done, or the situation just not fairing you. But it really depends on that particular situation. I mean, if you're in the mall, with some friends, you know, if in the middle of my trick some asshole kept every magic move, yeah, some people just want attention on themselves. They can't stand the idea of having the attention on someone else. So unfortunately, you know, that's where you say, hey guys, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do stuff here with this guy. So it just becomes just kind of a, you know, social issue there. That's dope. I bought 2 hoodies. I'll DM you a pic on Insta. Hey, yeah, I'll be looking forward to them, man. That's fucking dope. What do I think of Chris Ramsey? I like Chris Ramsey. I like his videos. I think he's, you know, high quality stuff. It's a good thing. He recently got 500,000, I think, 500K, which is fucking sick. But hopefully he takes advantage of that. Unlike, I mean, there are more, like, for example, I think 52 cards. He took a break for a little while, and that kind of, you know, lowered his channel in terms of, like, I don't think he made videos for a while, or didn't make videos as often, and that kind of affected his channel. So I hope that Ramsey keeps it up. On a scale of 1 to 10, how OG are you? Pretty OG, I would say. Not 100%. But actually, no. I'll be a 2 because I'm pretty sure if I say emoji in front of black people, they'll shoot me. So I'm gonna go with the humble answer and say that I'm a 2. Logang versus Gucci Gang. Holy shit. Oh man, that is just fucking AIDS. Logan, I don't even know what would happen, man. Logang versus Gucci Gang. I'm pretty sure the amount of middle schoolers that will blow up. Oh boy. Hold up, let me see if I could go back on here. Are they really making a fucking third movie of Now You See Me? Is that really happening? Fuck, don't tell me that. Okay, hold up, let me exit out of here. So, okay, hold up, the email. Brian, yeah, if you're here, Brian Skupidin, I'll add you to the thing. I don't know why you keep getting kicked out of this. And then let me take this off. Actually, let me comment on this video and go, I'm L Pig, kissy face. But that's kind of dope. I'm really glad he used that on the fucking shit. Jesus. If I had the opportunity to touch his where his spikes used to be, I would do that. Let me see some shit that I missed here. I love your choice of retro wave music on Instagram videos. Yeah, I thought it would make me a little bit of a basic bitch, but I typically enjoy that style of music just because it reminds me of when music used to be good and not shit. So thankfully, music is modern music with that 80s hit that I really, really like. Some people don't like it, but I dig the shit out of that. Let's see. Now You See Me, leave the theater. That's a fucking good meme. That's a phenomenal meme if I've ever heard one. Shit. Show us a trick. You don't have to tell us how you do it. Well, I mean, let me see if I could look something up that I could show. Well, I mean, I just did. I showed you guys that trick. I mean, the one that I sent Brushwood, that's a great idea. That's a really fucking good idea. Because imagine if you have a short card on top of the deck, right? You have a short card on top of the deck. You tell the spectator that in a moment, what you want them to do is take cards from the bottom and put it on top. And they get stopped whenever they want. You're going to be turned around, so they're not going to see you do this. And whenever they stop at a card, to stare at that card and kind of imprint it in their mind, right? And then turn the cards face down. That's what you're telling them to do. When they repeat these actions, obviously what's going to happen is that they are going to be putting their card, the card that they're thinking of, next to your short card, which is a fucking phenomenal position to be in. Because supposedly you haven't, they're doing this in their hands. You're turned around. They look at their card. So when you turn this card around on the short card, that's it. I mean, you could even tell them to cut the deck, and that's not going to make a difference because that card is going to be right next to your short card. So at any point in time, you could riffle shuffle to it. You could peek at it in whatever way you want. So that's a fucking good idea. So yeah, I mean, fuck. Who's better, Dan or Dave? I think they're both equal. It's like one with the other, one without the other. I've never not known Dan to be without Dave or Dave without Dan. That's kind of a weird situation to be in. Could you imagine if it was just Dan Buck? I don't think it would get as popular. I mean, I imagine that together they form that cohesive unit of Dan and Dave. Although I'd watch them in a porno. Hey, let me see some stuff. I'm autistic. What's a short card? Okay, that's, yeah, I should be a little bit more specific. A short card is a card that's cut short in a deck. So what happens is that when this card is in your deck, I have an entire project on this. I should show that right now. Right now would be the perfect opportunity to show the fact that I'm selling a product called Short on pigcake.me, where I teach you like a bunch of stuff using short cards. But in summary, a short card, it's a really old technique, and what you do is that you short the card, you cut it, or you shave the edge so that it's a little bit shorter than the other cards. What this does is that when you put this card in the deck, anywhere, no matter where the card is, by riffling up, you're able to find a card because of the feel and the sound. Now, you don't want to just go and cut to the card right off the bat. That's, you don't want to do that. So there are a bunch of little ways that you could do that, whether it's with a riffle shuffle, whether it's with a dribble. So there's a bunch of ways to get that short card under your control. But it is a very useful thing to have in any deck because imagine, you have a bunch of possibilities with it. And again, shilling my own shit. I teach a bunch of that on that particular project. But, just a short card, you just cut a card short in the deck, you round off the edges, make sure that it doesn't look like you literally cut the card, and you put that in your deck, and you have so much shit that you could do with that. I fucking love it. Let me see. Some shits. Let's see, watch other routines. Show the shit out of it. That's really funny. Yeah, no, obviously it's not my idea. It's an idea that goes way, way back. Fuck. If I came up with that shit. Fuck. But that is definitely an old idea. It's been around probably since fucking cards have been around. So it's a great thing. Let me see some shits. Don't ever stop doing videos on YouTube. You're great. That's funny. Do a long card project. I don't think that would have a lot of wherewithal. I don't think people would be very interested in that. Holy shit. What is happening here? Hold up. Fuck. I just jumped here. Could you go over force with the overhand shuffle? What do you mean? What do you mean by go over force with the overhand shuffle? Let me see some shit. Okay, so hold up. Fake news. What's the best deck to use in terms of price and quality? I always say Bicycle, man. Bicycle is definitely the fucking deck to go with. And the reason for that is because obviously it's cheap. It's available everywhere. So it doesn't really make much sense if you're going to, I don't understand the necessity to pay, if you're paying more than 20 bucks, and I think that's even going over it. If you're paying more than 20 bucks for a goddamn deck, that is just so fucking much. It's a ridiculous amount. So, to find a deck that's fucking $3 and it does the job, why not? Like, you don't need to pay 20 bucks. These Fontaine cards, I lose my fucking mind every time I see this shit. These guys are charging 30 bucks for a goddamn deck. Come on, man. Oh, see this shit. Or studs. There you go. I wouldn't recommend these. I wouldn't honestly recommend these. But if they're there, if you see them there, that's it. I saw you do a false cut in a video once and I can't find it. Fuck, hold up, I just skipped that. Son of a bitch. I saw you do a false cut in a video once and I can't find it. What's the cut where you flip a packet horizontal? Are you talking about this shit? That? Is that what you're talking about? Those are the studs. These are studs. You find them in fucking Walgreens literally anywhere. That's fucking funny. Shit. Fuck that, don't do a giveaway. You're funny. Hold up, I'm trying to read these shits here, but for some reason it keeps scrolling unnecessarily. I'm pretty sure it's my shit internet connection. Sybil cut variation. Well, the only one that I kind of know is this one, right? This thing. That's kind of a variation on the Sybil, right? That's some basic bitch stuff. Although I feel like a monkey for doing that. Let me look this shit up. How many times do I add the same questions? Oh, that's tips for approaching spectators. You know, again, it depends on the situation. I can't tell you what's going to work universally because it really depends on the situation. This person just said that, you know, he was doing stuff at a mall and he was heckled. So unfortunately, you know, different things call for different approaches. So you're not going to be able to approach the same situation the same way. I mean, this shit. Oh boy, this is just fucking AIDS. Fuck the haters. That's funny. Pepper spray works great. Yeah, it also comes with battery charges. You want to avoid the battery charges. Do you own a card to wallet of any kind? Yeah, I own like 7 of them. Unfortunately, you know, you're not going to be immune to buying a shit ton of just unnecessary playing cards. So, unnecessary wallets. So I have a drawer full of like 6 or 7 wallets that are just ridiculous. Are you secretly illusionist? That's funny. So, but they're really old. Like I have one that's like a huge wallet. It's fucking AIDS. And then I have another one that's straight up, not the real man's wallet. It's the Mullica one that Penguin sold a little while ago. That was fucking dope. Let me see. Can you do a card to wallet giveaway? Well, I like the wallets. It's not like, you know, and obviously I've spent a lot of money on those wallets, so it's like kind of shit that you would that you're kind of like, hey, I mean, they're my old wallets, they're like used and stuff, so I don't know if anybody would want a used wallet. That's kind of a weird thing to get. I want a used wallet, right? Yeah. You know, honestly, a lot of there's another one that I bought, the Stealth Assassin, I think. Real man's wallet, that's dope. Yeah, you know, that one's pretty good from my understanding, but the loading mechanism on that's a little bit weird. I like the ones that don't necessarily require like palming. Like the Mullica one is fucking phenomenal for me. How does card to wallet work? In what way is it different? Fuck. Hold up. How does a card to wallet work? In what way is it different than a regular one? Well, there are several ways that it works. One is a palming way, which is that you need to, you know, you palm the card, you have it hidden in your palm somehow, and you sneak it into the wallet somehow. The other way is through like a no palm method, which you have to sneak the card in the wallet in the context of like, you know, showing the wallet, for example, like in the Mullica wallet, you're showing the wallet and you sneak the card in there somehow. So it's pretty good in that sense. I like the Mullica ones because of the fact that you don't need to palm the card, so you don't need to have this, you know, massive palm, or you don't need to just stick that in your wallet. You could do that with any wallet. Yeah, you can if you know, cut a hole in it. But these wallets are designed to, you know, load a card and be able to load a card in there without an issue. I did get the one that I was mentioning. I think was a Stealth Assassin. That's more like a mentalism wallet. That was stupid expensive for what it is. Like stupid expensive. It was literally just a wallet with like it has a magnetic compartment. You could peek at a card, but it's too much. Some other shit. Have I ever met Chris Ramsey? No, I have not. Hey, yeah, no, I haven't. Unfortunately, I haven't touched that beard yet. You can keep a card in your wallet. You know, Dan, now that you reminded me, there is a great way there's a great method that I read in one of Paul Harris's books that it's a card to wallet with whatever wallet you want. And he does it pretty much by, he has a card picked, he has it signed, he puts the deck behind his back and he tears the card in half. Obviously, he's controller to the top, but he tears the card in half and sticks one of the halves, I think, behind his wallet. I might be wrong on that. But what that allows you to do is that allows you to supposedly show the card still in the deck, right? So you're able to peek the card out like this, right? And show the card in the deck and have it go to your pocket. It's a great fucking technique. I don't recall how it is now, but it's a fucking great way to do it. I don't know if it's in Art of Astonishment 1 or it might be in 1. Might be Art of Astonishment 1. Let me see this shit. Oh, that's funny. Can you do cardistry, aka floppy shit? I don't consider what I cut as cardistry. I really don't, because the cardistry that I've seen on fucking Instagram is fucking beyond me. I see that shit, now scrolling through and I'm like, wow, these guys are fucking killing the game. Kenton Nepper, Lindsay. That's the person's name. He has a color changing deck that you don't need any sort of gimmick. It's just literally words, and people miscall it something that's, more impressive than actually happened. Do you like any of the gimmicks that change the writing on the back of the card? Well, I do like the friction pens. I mean, when I think Matthew Beach was the first one that came out with that sort of idea, I really, really liked it. And, Matthew Beach is one of the ones that's fucking great fucking mind. So I remember that he came out with a pamphlet on friction pens, and that was fucking dope. But, I don't think that there's any need to buy a specific gimmick, right? Yeah, I live in Oregon. What fucks you up the most? Well, all things magic. What trick fucks you up the most? Unfortunately, you don't get fooled a lot, man. The more you're into magic, the less you get fooled. So it's unfortunate that you are you don't have to. Wait, hold up. Did I just man, this thing skipped. But unfortunately, yeah, most things don't fool you. So, you have to kind of only get fooled when something is designed to fool magicians, and usually those tricks aren't good. I got some flash paper for Christmas. Do you have any tricks with flash paper? Yeah, In a Flash by Jay Sang is a great one. He also has one, I think, called Phoenix Card. That's another fucking amazing one. I'm trying to think of other ones that are fucking better. Aha, your card vanish on Insta. That's funny. Yeah. I mean, that's. I've been reading the comments on that, which is fairly interesting because I'm surprised people haven't legitimately figured it out. Foxies. I got a blank card. What tricks can I do? Hold up. Fuck, man. These comments. Okay, so I got a blank card. What tricks can I do? Well, you know, it really depends. There is a great one by John Gusafaro. I think it's called an opener. It's called My Opener or something like that. That it's a trick done with a one blank card, and you know the deck. The deck goes from you naming the only card that's printed in a blank deck to finding the only card that's blank in a printed deck. It does a weird thing. Do a blank fan. Fucking A, you're making me like a. There you go, blank. That's a blank fan, right? Fuck. Let me go through these. See if there's anything dope here. I'm probably gonna have to cut this at 60. So when this hits an hour, I'm probably gonna have to cut this and not make this one of these usual piggy Minecraft or piggy 3-hour streams. Let me see. What fucks me up the most is Xavier Spade. I'm planning to buy that DVD. I know what you mean by DVD. Unless you mean the Raise Rights thing. Yeah, that fucks me up. Oh, his pass. Super easy card. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Sankey has a couple methods that I remember him seeing years ago on the shit. Let me see this. I gotta look that up. I gotta fucking look that shit up. My Instagram is pigcake69 because apparently I'm a very mature individual. Let me see this shit. What do you think about a stripper deck? I think the stripper deck is one of the ones that it's like underutilized as fuck. You know, you have all these people that typically do the same sort of trick with it, but. Let me see. Yeah, that's the joke. All things magic. 69. Yeah. I'm a very mature individual. Yeah, so I've dropped some dope stuff on Instagram recently. Especially that last one. That last one kind of fucked people up. I'm not going to say how I did it. But I'm definitely going to... just leave it up to you guys. Let me see. Bought it's totally worth it. Are you talking about stripper deck? I guess is that what you meant? Stripper deck with Out of This World. Yeah, it would make sense, especially because you could have them shuffle the deck and that whole thing. Still fucking me up. Well, I mean, in the video I do exactly what Xavier says not to do in his video. So if you watch his video and you pay attention to what he says, then you kind of know the method. Let me see this shit. Oh, the pass project. Okay, yeah, his pass is fucking dope as shit. Oh, shit. Hover control is similar to your unique call technique. Well, I don't think I have any sort of unique call technique on Patreon. I mean, the one that's, I guess the most recent one is the cultural. But that's nothing outrageously new. You're just pretty much calling a card and using that to do the a little bit of a variation on that like swing set, I guess, thing. But yeah, typically these are just kind of variations on those moves. But I need to check that out. Hover control. I've never seen that. I gotta check that shit out. They made a better version of the full view switch on Illusionist called. I don't understand the necessity for that. I know that they had a whole back and forth with Jay Sankey on that, but that's still kind of weird. It's like it's very obviously that full view switch, right? But it's like marketed as something else. Art of Magic for hover control. Yeah, I need to check that out. That sounds fucking dope. And similar in what sense, Nathan? Like that you're cutting a card to the middle and that sort of in that same way, or what? Let me see some shit. I don't know. Hekili Thunder. I don't know what you mean by I don't know what you mean by... Fuck. Crown decks. I don't know what a crown deck is. What do you think of DK Magician? I fucking love DK Magician. He's a great guy. 1,000 times better than I am, I'll tell you that much. It's like your call where the card is facing you rather than under the deck. Makes sense, if that makes sense. It's like your call where the card is facing you rather than under the deck, if that makes sense. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I got you. You know, it's another move that kind of fucks me up. I remember seeing this years ago. This has absolutely no practical application in my head, but it's like one of these, right? One of these sort of things. And the card's reversed. I mean, it's pretty much like a hand-pink chain with, so you're doing that thing, right? I remember seeing something like this years ago, and I'm like, that has no fucking practical application. I remember seeing that a long time ago. I mean, then that can kind of turn into one of these, right? So it's just playing around with a bunch of stupid shit. Am I Daniel Madison? I'm not Daniel Madison. I don't have any tattoos. How would I hide my immense hand tattoos? Let me see. Paycake, do you want to see the cringiest kissing card trick? I don't. I personally try to refrain myself from seeing as many of the fucking kissing card tricks as possible. Fucking French kiss. Goddamn. Who's this guy? What's his name? Fuck. Wayne Houchin. Wayne Houchin. You fucked everybody up. Oh, Jesus. Are you a cake-eating communist? That's fucked. Unfortunately not, no. I mean, that'd be a great idea for a channel, though. Just the communist eating cake, talking about, like, politics. He had 2 girls handcuffed with no context at all, and they put the cards in their mouth with his own hand and told them to kiss. You know, there's a certain point where you do something that's, you know, with females, but it's gay. Like, that's gay. You know, on that live stream I did yesterday, I didn't see that guy. For the first time I saw that guy that did the card trick where the card ends up in his ass, right? And then Howard Stern has to pull it out of his ass. That was fucking weird. Let me see some shit here. That's funny. Mitch Webb, I mean, it works differently for everybody, man. Definitely works different for everybody. Some people, I mean, obviously, if you're doing it with your wife, but I've seen, for that particular video that I did on Daniel Fernandez, you guys don't understand the amount of cringe that I had to sift through to fucking get to a piece of content where I could just stick with content for you guys. That was fucking AIDS. Oh, man, I'm sick of shit. Sex with women is gay. Any good black magicians out there? Yeah, Eric Jones is a great black magician. Marcus Eddy is another great black magician. I'm a great black magician. Can you do the overhand shuffle card force real quick? I don't know what you mean by overhand shuffle card force, unless you mean this sort of thing, right? Where you say, hey, stop. And then this ends up being the card that's forced, right? Boy, you ain't black. Hey, I'm black and heart. I don't know if that's what you mean. I mean, that might be what you mean, right? I'm not sure. Fuck it. I'll assume that's what you mean. You're just squeezing the top and bottom card here as you're shuffling, right? You're just squeezing it. And then you're asking people to call stop. And then when they call stop, you go, okay, right here, boy. You saw it? There's your card, bitch. Even though that's not a good one, I much prefer, if you're doing an overhand shuffle, how would you force a card for an overhand shuffle? I know I've seen a technique, but I like using an overhand shuffle to force the position of a deck, right? So if you're doing this, for example, and you say, hey, call stop, okay, and they call stop, and you put that there. Do me a favor, call stop again, right? That might be a better way to do it because you're forcing a position, so it makes sense. If you're doing it like, if you're doing this sort of, if you're forcing a card, it's never going to work. But for example, it will definitely work if you do it like this. Let me do this. If you do this sort of thing and you say, hey, sir, call stop anytime you want. Right there? That's great. All right. Again, call stop again. Oh, right there? Okay. One more time. Right there. I'll tell you what, we'll do it one more time for good old times, right? Right there? Good job. Sir, how lucky are you? Are you lucky? Well, you know, I think you're really lucky because you stopped me in all the aces, you dumb pussy. Ha. People love that when you call him a pussy. But that, I think, is a better thing to do if you're going to force using the overhand technique. Because in that case, you're not forcing individual cards. You're forcing a position, right? And the positions, you know, obviously are the fucking, you know, the aces. So that's, that, I guess, would be a better application of that. But I don't know if there's any force that's good with the overhand shuffle. Oh shit, I'm fucking. Let's see. When was? Oh, is that a John Cena meme? Let me see this shit. You should do your own version of Gold Diggers, but Magician Diggers. What do you mean by that? Is that a thing? Do you own any David Blaine deck? I own a couple. David Blaine decks, but they're not like, it's just a couple of the old Mark decks that he had and a couple of the gimmick decks that he used to sell back in the day. But, oh, it's a song. Okay, there you go. Fuck. Yeah, that's close enough to a diss track that's going to, you know, turn me off. Fuck, I was about to send something here. What do you think of the white lines? Okay, we'll answer 2 more questions and then I'll get the fuck out of here before I die. So wait, let me check this shit. I call out Logan Paul and throw hands. He probably whooped my ass. He's kind of ripped. Logan Paul, he's kind of ripped. So, you know, I would love to fight him and then kind of make a legion of middle schoolers hate themselves as to me decimating their fucking leader. But unfortunately, he's kind of swole, so he'd probably take me. Unfortunately, I'd put a good fight though. Fuck that guy. My dick is definitely bigger. I could say that with 100% certainty. My dick is way bigger than Logan Paul. Favorite, most expensive deck? Well, I mean, I'm not gonna get a deck that's expensive unless it has a function, right? So if it's like a Mark deck, I wouldn't mind paying $30 of it. But if it's like, you know, just a regular deck, there's no fucking reason as to why I would pay more than, you know, even 15 is stretching it. Would you rather have sex with pigs or female underage dead bodies? All right, that's a fucking whopper if I've ever heard one. Fuck. What video did the 5 of Hearts sleep with your girlfriend? I think that's episode 4. It might be episode 4. I might be wrong on that. Right? It's either episode 2 or episode 4. Get Logan Paul to fight Jay Sankey. That would be a fucking ripper. I'd love to watch that. I'd pay money to watch that. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There you go. I get what you mean. I just got your comment on there's me no hand shuffle will spread the cards rather than have some. Yeah. Get the cards have something to say. Oh, okay. You're talking about the Mahatma control, right? Because I just read your DM. Is that what you mean, the Mahatma control? Yeah, that is fucking my favorite thing by any sort of control. Like speaking of the 5 of Hearts, we'll do the 3 of Spades. Just for you, who just DM'd me. It's my favorite fucking control, and the fact that it's a peak and a control is just beyond me. So, you know, obviously you get a card picked, you get your little pinky in there like it's the 4th of July, right? And then you grab this packet, and that packet gets shuffled to the top of the deck, and in that card gets controlled. But here's the thing, if you squeeze that card as you're shuffling and press up with your fingers, you get a little peek at the card. So not only do you control that card, you also peek at it in one action. So it just becomes the idea of a spectator picking a card, right? In this case, it's going to be the 3 of hearts. And in that, you're able to control the card to the top and then keep shuffling it and peek at the card simultaneously. It's fucking great. It's a great move. Guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end it there because I feel like I'm dying in the inside of my body. So, Renato, hey, yeah, I'm glad you are a proud piggybacker. It's a vocal minority there, but very appreciated. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to go and hopefully not die, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you all sticking around and just, doing the gay things you guys do. I'll do one hopefully soon when I'm not dying, but I feel like I'm fucking absolutely dying right now. So until then, let me just zoom in to these. Where is it? Oh, these nuts. Oh, fuck me. These nuts. There you go. God damn it. These nuts. By the way, I got Meeseeks. I have a bad habit of collecting these. It's not a good habit to have, but every time I go to a store and I see these, I buy them because I'm a faggot. So, oh shit. So I got Meeseeks, which is kind of happy. I'm happy about that. I was looking for Meeseeks. I'm actually looking for Ghost in a Jar because fucking Ghost in a Jar is the rarest one in the whole set. It's not gay. I'm not gay for liking that. I'm an adult. I pay bills. Yeah. Actually, I'll show you guys. Why the fuck not? You see that? You see Ghost in a Jar? You see how they have different ratings here in the back? Ghost in a Jar, if you see in the bottom, is 1 out of 70 fucking 2. You know how hard it is to get Ghost in a Jar? I fucking hate everything because Ghost in a Jar is the hardest thing to get. I've gotten 2 Mortys, I've gotten 2 Ricks, and I've gotten 2 Jerrys, but I've yet to touch Ghost in a Jar. Fuck. I fucking hate everything. Yeah, 1 out of 72. I fucking hate it. But you know what? I'm going to keep... If I see this in a store, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fucking grab it. It doesn't matter. I could get 10 Jerrys. I'm not going to give a fuck because I'm going to go for that one dream of me getting that motherfucking ghost in a motherfucking jar. You piece of shit. I will destroy you. I even have a Mr. Poopy Butthole. That's 1 out of 6. I hate myself. But you know what? I'm going to go figure out different ways to find Ghost in a Jar. Thank you guys for sticking around.